a hugely disappointing end to that game, but when you look back on the 90 minutes, especially the second half, Derry City probably feel they deserved it.
Derry City were the better side, yeah, in particular in the second half. German, I think the disappointing part from our point of view is that while we coughed up possession and Derry had, I'd say, 90% of possession in the second half, they didn't really threaten bar Patrick McElhinney's strike that Mark put over the bar. They had a lot of possession, and we sat very deep. We probably didn't have the counter attack with Eric being out injured, which, but it wasn't by choice. We had no choice. Derry came at us in waves, but we defended it. It was a bit like with the olden times where we blocked crosses and blocked shots at the edge of the area, and Patrick and Will patching or dumbing and chopping and changing, and we looked like we'd weather the storm. And then with Derry trying to score the perfect goal, they scored one, a route 1-1 that Cameron Donegan played over the top, and Ethan didn't deal with it properly, and Ryan Graydon crept in and nipped in and scored an equaliser. And similarly, the winning goal in injury time is in the air that long. I'm not quite sure how Mark Anthony or Rob Sutton didn't deal with it. It was that long in the air. It wasn't like patching 3 kicks of goal that he put in the top corner. This was hanging within the 6-yard line, and it's basically a kick in the teeth on the basis that it's so late. But we've got to look at ourselves and look at our both management and players. We all need to look at ourselves to see at the moment we're not good enough to stay in the Premier Division, and we need to change it. And we've tried to change it personnel-wise, and that's no criticism of anyone that has gone out. But we had to try and change it, or else it'll peter out. No, we've changed it, and it looks like we're getting the same results in it. But disappointing having put ourselves into a great position not to go and win it, let alone take a point out of it. But that's football, and it's not a nice place, and we knew how difficult it was going to be, although you still have hope that it won't be quite as difficult as your expectation would have been at the start of the season. Like your head told me something, my heart told me something different, and I went with my heart basically, and I'm looking at it here today. I shall listen to my head, but we'll keep at it, German. And we're not in it. This is as precarious a position we've been in our 9 years, and I'm not sure what more we can do to try and get out of it, but we'll keep at it.
And listen, the UCD result tonight just rubs salt into the wounds, doesn't it?
No, that doesn't surprise me in the least. I said it to you, and people just didn't want to listen. The UCD haven't gone away. They've legs that keep the ball very well, and in particular during the summer, where they're I won't say full time because they'll kill me for saying that, but where they can train with no college, they always do well at this time of year. We're just hoping they don't continue to do well, and we can try and play catch up in it. But I said it, and I know people didn't want to listen. They most certainly are a handful, and even at that, if UCD finish above us or vice versa, whoever it is have a savage playoff, whoever gets there. But that's for another day, Jim.
This time last year as well, Ollie, I think Harps were going through a difficult run of results, and the FAI Cup were right, and you got a good result down in Limerick. Okay, took extra time to win. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
but you kicked on after that, and
I've no doubt that we'll kick on, but it's just getting further and further away. I mean, with an ideal opportunity there at 1-0 up on, at one stage they had a shot that went over the bar in 74 minutes, and I thought, let's get up the pitch and try. But we didn't really get up the pitch until they equalised, and it was then we got a corner. I think we had only 2 corners in the game. We scored from one with a few long throws. We're playing off bits and pieces, but we were 1-0 up, German, and we were quite happy for that to happen. Just the concession of the 2 goals, from our point of view, should have been dealt with better, and both ourselves and some of the players need to have a hard, long look at themselves and their preparation for that not to happen again.
Right. Well, can I ask you as well, Derry changed their system at the start of the second half, Ollie. You gave it maybe 5 or 10 minutes, maybe a wee bit more, and then you changed things up a wee bit.
We didn't change. We had no choice but to drop. We changed personnel. We tried to get more legs on the pitch. We felt we just couldn't get pressure on the ball. It's at 1-0 up. I think that for all the possession Derry had, they really didn't have a clear-cut chance until Patrick's one that Mark Anthony pulled over for a corner. That was, don't get me wrong, they had us tossing and turning and patching, and Patrick were dummying to beat the band. But at the same time, we blocked shots, we blocked crosses, and it looked like, while we're sitting very deep, that we'd see this out, but we haven't. The older lads that were here before would have seen it out without doubt, but these lads need to learn how to see it out and show a little bit of leadership and mettle for us to try and get out of where we are.
Yeah. A couple of new faces as well, Ollie. Final question. Nicholson at the back did well, I thought, and young Sean O'Donnell coming on for his debut. 17-year-old making his first appearance.
Yeah, he probably had 5 minutes of injury time. Sean can pull something out of nothing. He's a lot to learn and a long way to go, but that's why we put him on, and that he can pull something out of nothing. We thought maybe this is his opportunity, but in fairness to him, Derry managed the last couple of minutes very well. Cameron Dunningham had the ball in the right hand corner for probably 5 or 7 minutes after the score, so that's something that they show their experience about, and well done to them, Dermot. We've got to take our oil and try and keep going.
Okay, thanks, Ollie.